Millions of visitors come to Florence every year, and almost all of them miss its most fascinating side. They see beauty, they see masterpieces, they see postcards, but Florence is not what you think it is. This city is not just a museum, it's a living organism, a place shaped by geniuses, rivalries, new discoveries, floods, secret corridors, and tiny details carved into the stone you walk on without even noticing. Today, we're going to uncover that Florence, the hidden one, the unexpected one, the real one. Florence lies in the heart of Tuscany and is known as the cradle of the Renaissance. Not by chance, but because it was home to minds like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Dante Alighieri, Brunelleschi, and Galileo. Thinkers and creators who reshaped art, science, architecture, and the very way humanity understood itself. Within just a few square kilometers, Florence holds one of the highest concentrations of art on Earth. But to truly understand this city, you have to start from its beating heart, Piazza del Duomo. Dominating the square is the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, the fifth largest church in Europe. Over 153 meters of pure architectural ambition, wrapped in white, green, and red marble, the colors that tell the story of Tuscany itself. Most travelers stop at the facade, but the real miracle is above them, the dome. In 1420, Brunelleschi achieved the impossible. He built a massive dome, 45 meters wide and 116 meters high, without traditional wooden support. Inspired by the Pantheon, he used more than 4 million bricks laid in a herringbone pattern and even invented entirely new machines to lift them into place. To the side stands Giotto's bell tower, 84 meters of perfect Gothic geometry. Climb its 414 steps and Florence opens beneath you like a painting. Standing in front of the cathedral is one of Florence's oldest buildings, the Baptistry of San Giovanni. Its mosaics portray the drama of the universe, while its bronze doors by Lorenzo Ghiberti, the famous Gates of Paradise, mark the true beginning of the Renaissance. Ghiberti won the competition in 1401, defeating Brunelleschi. Walking toward the Arno, past historic palaces, we arrive at Piazza della Repubblica. For centuries, it was a maze of medieval alleys and the bustling Mercato Vecchio, built over the Roman Forum. The column of abundance still marks the crossing of the Cardo and the Cumanos, the ancient center of Florence. In the 19th century, when Florence became capital of the Kingdom of Italy, the area was redesigned, replacing medieval buildings with modern ones. The Galleria's monumental portico now defines the square, while the historic cafes still echo its artistic past. If the Duomo was the heart of faith, Piazza della Signoria was the heart of power. Politics, conspiracies, revolutions, everything happened here. Rising like a fortress, Palazzo Vecchio was begun in 1298 and later became the residence of the Medici, a family that ruled Florence and financed the Renaissance. And if you look closely at the right side of the entrance, you'll see a mysterious face carved into the stone. According to legend, Michelangelo made it while talking to an annoying terror. Another story says it was a bat. Either way, it's there, Michelangelo's hidden graffiti. Next to it, the Loggia dei Lanzi, an open-air gallery from the 1300s. Here, sculptures like Cellini's Perseus stand under the open sky. Look closely at the back of Perseus' head. Cellini left a tiny portrait of himself, hidden in plain sight. In the center, a Manali's Neptune watches over the square, symbol of Florence's maritime ambitions. And standing guard outside Palazzo Vecchio, the replica of Michelangelo's David. The original was placed here in 1504 as a symbol of the Republic's courage. The Uffizi Gallery is not just a museum, it's the room where the Renaissance learned to speak. For centuries, the Medici opened their private collection to the world. Inside, you can admire works by masters like Botticelli, Leonardo da Vinci, Caravaggio, each piece a step forward in the story of human art. Then there is the Galleria dell'Accademia, home to the world's most famous sculpture, Michelangelo's David. Michelangelo was only 30 when he carved this masterpiece from a single block of marble. Every detail captures David's tension before facing Goliath, veins, muscles, and focus frozen in stone. Florence's most iconic bridge has survived wars, floods, and even World War II. The only Florentine bridge the Germans did not destroy. Since 1593, its tiny shops have been home to goldsmiths and jewelers, placing the butchers who once threw their waste directly into the river. Above the bridge runs the Vasari Corridor, a secret elevated passage built in 1565 for Cosimo I de' Medici, allowing him to move unseen between his palace and the seat of government. Across the river stands Palazzo Pitti, once home to banker Luca Pitti, later residence of the Medici and even the King of Italy when Florence became capital. Behind it, the Boboli gardens stretch out like a royal oasis. Fountains, grottos, sculptures, a model for courts all over Europe. In Florence, even the smallest details hide history. Along many palace walls, you see tiny arched windows, wine doors. Families sold wine directly from their homes through these openings. Some are still active today. But in Florence, you don't experience history only through wine. Just behind San Lorenzo Church, the San Lorenzo Market awaits, full of local products and centuries of tradition. Inside the market, an iron and glass building dating back to 1874, you can taste authentic Florentine cuisine and, of course, sip some wine. Santa Croce is the spiritual pantheon of Florence. Michelangelo, Galileo, Machiavelli, and Ugo Foscolo rest here. Inside, you'll find masterpieces by Giotto and Cimabue. During the 1966 flood, the Arno filled the church with almost 6 meters of water. In front of Santa Croce stands a statue of Dante. He isn't buried here. He was exiled from Florence and died in Ravenna. But the city honors him with this monument for his big contribution to Italian culture. Dante was born in Florence. In the small square where the Dante House Museum stands, you can spot his portrait hidden in the porphyry paving stones. You really have to sharpen your eyes to find it. And just beside it, Santa Maria dei Cerchi. In this tiny church, tradition says Dante met Beatrice, his inspiring muse. And then, Santa Maria Novella, with Alberti's harmonious facade, a treasure chest of the early Renaissance. High on a hill stands San Miniato al Monte, one of the finest Romanesque churches in Europe. Unfortunately, when we visited, it was under renovation, but normally it looks like this. There's a serene, almost sacred atmosphere. And then there is the view. One of the most breathtaking sunsets in Florence, with almost no crowds to disturb it. From there, you can walk down to Piazzale Michelangelo, the most famous panoramic point of the city. A place where Florence opens like a dream. The dome, the tower of Palazzo Vecchio, the Arno, all glowing under the Tuscan sun. Before you go, here are a few practical tips to enjoy Florence like a local. Visit in spring or winter if you want the city at its best. Move around on foot, avoid the car in the historic center. Book the Uffizi and Accademia in advance. You can find very long queues. And remember, visiting the Duomo itself is free. You can enter the cathedral from Monday to Saturday between 10:15 a.m. and 3:55 p.m. It's closed on Sundays and during religious holidays. If you want to climb the dome or the bell tower or visiting other parts of the cathedral complex, tickets are required and it's best to book in advance to avoid long lines. 1 or 2 days are enough for the highlights, but Florence rewards those who stay longer. And yes, the sandal syndrome is real. Florence's beauty can literally overwhelm you. our next guide, we will show you something special. The best free places in Florence that most visitors completely overlook. If you liked the video, subscribe to our channel and see you soon. Bye!